Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. I am your host,
Chuck Manatee.
and in today's episode, we are going to be covering Altered. So, as usual, what we'll do is give you some interesting info, watch the trailer, and I will give you my thoughts after the fact. So, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So, Altered is a 2024 American science fiction action film written and directed by Timo Vuorensola. So the basic premise: in an alternate present, genetically enhanced humans dominate society. Outcasts Leon and Chloe fight for justice against corrupt politicians exploiting genetic disparity, risking everything to challenge the oppressive system. So as far as the cast is concerned, it actually stars Tom Felton, and he's going to be playing Leon. Obviously everyone knows him from Harry Potter, so Draco Malfoy. So that's the main one. I am a big Harry Potter fan, just so by the way. So that is cool to see him. That's kind of why I was interested to see what this was about. And then as far as Lisa Brugolova, I couldn't find anything on her specifically, or whatever the case is. And so that's why you probably won't see a picture on screen at this point, potentially. But I just couldn't make sure that it was her, because there seems to be a lot of them out there that's with no sort of background or whatever. But anyway, as far as the other cast is concerned, we have Richard Brake. And Richard Brake actually has been in quite a bit of fun things. Hannibal Rising, Barbarian, Rob Zombie, 3 from Hell, The Munsters, and actually Game of Thrones as well. So that's he's quite a popular actor. So I have seen him in a few different things, but I did like him in Batman Begins. He actually played Joe Chill. So so he was in that. Then we have, and I apologize if I butcher this, Igor Gigikine. He hasn't been in too many different things. Mostly, it seems like circus stuff that he's done. He was in Emperor Battle for Dune, Red Alert, and that kind of stuff. So he seems like more of a sports guy than an actor of some sort. Well, not sports, but like he's more athletic and in acrobats, so that was his bread and butter, obviously growing up, so on and so forth. So I'm just having a look here. It's all very indie stuff, like for example Hunter Killer, Night Shift, Love in the Big City. So there's nothing I really know him from specifically. He does look awfully familiar. I almost think he was one of the bad guys in what was that movie? In one of the Die Hards. I'm pretty sure he was one of the henchmen, or whatever the case is. Last but not least, we have Aggie K. Adams, and she's going to she's been in The Witcher, and she had a lead role in O Ramona in 2019. Seen The Witcher, haven't seen O Ramona, but so it does seem like this is a smaller indie kind of film. Let's have a look at the trailer. I think that's a good way to get ahead of things here. So let's have a look at the trailer for Altered.
What is this?
I think I got an idea.
Hell yeah!
Okay, so we messed up. But the world didn't end. We rebuilt it better. For some. The genetics. Genetically improved humans that live like kings. Then there's the specials. Although there's nothing special about us.
Proposition 42 enables genetic enhancements for everyone.
Fix my suit. I'll pay you triple.
Deal.
Triple free! We don't go to the genetic district.
Trust me. It'll be in, out, boom.
Today's attack by the extremist anti-genetic squad is the bloodiest so far.
They're trying to frame the specials.
Well, we gotta do something then.
Let her go! He's the one behind all of this.
We've cracked the enigma of human evolution.
Question is, what are we gonna do about it?
We're gonna fight.
Bring it! They want you to think that you're useless, worthless. It's not true!
It's evolution and you can't stop it.
And that was the trailer for Altered. So there are some pieces, of course, that you can see in the trailer that definitely do scream, B-movie vibes. But look, there are some pieces that aren't. As far as some of the 3D, not the 3D, like the CGI and stuff, definitely cool. Especially the intro part of it where you see the robots hanging, something that he's busy building, like a outer skeletal suit of some sort to help him, because it looks like he's wheelchair bound in some shape or form. But also on that, I made a slight boo-boo as far as Igor Jijikine or Jijikine. I remember seeing him, so he wasn't in Die Hard, he was actually in a Jason Statham movie called Safe, which I just remembered. So it's kind of like has this, it's been described as a Die Hard scenario. So I got those two mixed up, and I just remembered while I was watching the trailer with you guys that it's definitely not from Die Hard. And while I was thinking about it, I actually remember him from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So he was one of the henchmen in that. So my movies got completely tangled in my brain today. So apologies for that. But anyway, let's carry on talking about the trailer. So of course, like I said, it opens up where you see Tom Felton busy working on this robot, outer suit, whatever, to help him fight the overlords, and this theme comes up in quite a few different movies. It seems like this is definitely going to be in that space where there's people that are poor, forgotten, like outsiders, excommunicated from what is, rich civilized society. And it's happened in a few different movies, like The Hunger Games. That's definitely with these elitists and in the outskirts. There's a movie I've watched quite recently, and I would highly recommend it. It is very trippy. It's actually based on the novel from Stephen King, and the movie's called The Long Walk. It actually came out on the 12th of September, so that's come out relatively recently. It is not for everyone, I must just warn you. So if you do have a bit of a uneasy tummy, it's not graphic as in like Saw or that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of people getting shot and that kind of stuff. So the whole premise is that these guys are throw your name into a hat, and then basically what would happen is you know, you have to do this long walk, and the last person walking is the one that survives. So if you walk too slow or anything like that, then they get rid of you. So I definitely recommend that. But let's stay on topic for Altered. So yeah, and then you see the cities getting bombed, etc. The older ones, but now there's obviously a utopia of some sort, and you can see that people are genetically modified, so their eyes light up. There's guys with sort of like pixie ear kind of vibes. Yeah, and then you obviously see the slums, which is where Tom Felton and his the people there are called the Specials. So yeah, and it seems like they have to go into the city to get this thing from a person. You know, it's obviously to help them with what they're busy with. So they go there, and the media, or their like the elite's corporate media, basically paints them out to be these horrible people and whatever the case is, and kind of lies about them and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and then they've obviously got to fight the elites and so on. So that's what it seems to be. So like I say, like Hunger Games, The Long Walk, that kind of vibe. So it's very much in that space of like, you know, the underdogs, the poor, the excommunicated, fighting against the elites and the, you know, the people that have kind of put themselves in that place of position where, honestly, for the most part, like all of these guys in these movies don't deserve it. So yeah, and then you get a few little bit of fight scenes, not like monster amounts of people, you know, busy fighting, and that's kind of what jogged my memory with that Igor Jijikan. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I'm butchering that name. But yeah, that's kind of that fight scene with him and Tom Felton. Like that's exactly what jogged my memory. So yeah, then you see Richard Brake. Yeah, there's a scene of him busy shouting, whatever the case is, and then you kind of see like a little bit of the, I don't know what you'd call it, like the power sets of what the suit can do, little bombs and things that it shoots out. The one piece looked like it was shooting out leaves or trees or something to that effect. I've watched it a few times already, and it looks like it shoots out like roots, like those wall crawlers, you know, those plants like that. It looks something like that, which is kind of weird. So yeah, but it is, I like a good sci-fi, as good as anybody. Nothing in this trailer screams like, ooh, this is going to be a terrible movie or whatever. But I mean, look, B movies, you can't expect the world of, you know, I can't imagine that this had the biggest budget on the planet. Yeah, there are like some parts where they talk about the budgets or whatever the case is, but it's not a massive one, because they've recorded, you know, like the budget like in all different ways. So all of the ones that I've found are definitely not these monster budgets. So you're talking like some of them say 16, some of them say 14, so you know, or 17 million. So let's say 15 million. I mean, that's kind of what you're looking at, like very low budget stuff. However, yeah, like it looks pretty good for 15 million, you know. So I mean, there's been movies that have been made for less that have looked amazing. So Godzilla -1 is one of those that I could point out, which was a fantastic movie for $12 million. It didn't look like it was 12 million. So this also looks pretty good in some points. There are some pieces where you feel like, you know, it could look a bit better, but you know, as long as the story is good and you got like decent CGI, for me, the story is where I find it important, you know, like something that entertain me, get me to think about stuff. So that's always fun to watch. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed today's trailer and today's episode. Pop that in the comments below, as well as showing us some love by liking, sharing, and subscribing. But that is it for today's episode of the Everything Podcast, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.